do we have atmosphere in Milwaukee tonight?
It's pretty loud. It's pretty loud.
Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5 in a series tied at 2. An outside Fiserv Forum located in
Where?
Unbelievable.
Boy.
inside where better than 17,000 will be watching, and another sellout crowd to see if the Greek Freak and the Bucks can maintain a home court edge over Kawhi Leonard. And the Toronto Raptors, home team, has won them all in this series. And the winner of this game moves one step closer to the NBA Finals. Welcome, everybody. TNT NBA tip-off, presented by Auto Trader. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal.
The mean streets of Milwaukee is cracking right now.
No, I had him in Toronto. You gotta get him live, Shaq. Get him live, Shaq.
Hands up, Milwaukee.
Get him, Shaq.
Hands up, Milwaukee. 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 What? What? Louder. What? 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 Okay, Ernie, the mean streets is ready tonight, Ernie.
No doubt, no doubt.
Boy.
Man.
Hey, Charles.
Yes, sir.
The other night before Game 4, they were begging for a prediction, a guarantee. Do you have any guarantees in mind for Game 5?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Well, let me say this.
Say it.
Listen.
Let me hear it.
Say
Let
it.
me hear it.
Hey,
Don't
Say
start
it with your chest.
Don't
You're the
start
one
Hey.
with the microphone.
Don't stutter now.
I guarantee the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win tonight. Guarantee.
He folded under pressure,
Put
Kenny.
it under pressure.
That's
listen.
all he guaranteed the other
Okay,
night before
listen,
Game
okay.
4.
I have already picked the Bucks to win this series. I think they're going to win tonight. I don't care who wins. I just want to see 7 games.
They don't. Let's get more on Game 5 in this 2-2 series. Let's check in with Kristen Ledlow, who is courtside. Kristen.
Ernie, despite back-to-back wins for the Raptors, they're doing so behind a couple of stars who are physically struggling. Kyle Lowry addressed his sprained thumb earlier this morning. He was asked if it's feeling better. No. He was asked if the pain has subsided. No. He says that he knows this is just something that he's going to have to deal with until the season is over. He also had this to say about playing through injury.
It hurts on everything. Everything. Every time I use the hand, it hurts. But it's whatever. At this point, it is what it is. I still got a lot more to give. My thumb being hurt is, it is what it is. But other than that, my body feels great. My mind feels strong. So that's an important thing.
But Ernie, as for Kawhi Leonard, there's still no official injury to report. I did, though, ask Coach Nurse how he's feeling. He said that he seems good. He was given the option this morning to skip shoot around, and he chose to participate. So it's something to keep an eye on tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Kristen. And I think we are all of the mind, even though there's nothing definitive released by the Raptors, that Kawhi's not quite right physically.
Well, he's not right physically. You can notice it a couple ways. He's not getting any lift on his three-point shot. He's actually making his mid-range jumper when you don't need as much lift. But every time he tries to explode on a dunk, he grimaces.
Getting tremendous
Yes.
feedback in their ears. Good. I'm not the only one. I'm not losing my mind. So,
Well, we didn't say that.
well, I'm saying that. The Raptors got a lift because a lot of the others played well in Game 4 to even the series. The question now would be, will that travel? And you take a look at first 2 games of the series compared to the next 2 games of the series, opening up on the road and then at home, and the numbers increasing for Norman Powell and Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka and Fred VanVleet. So the question on everybody's mind is, Is that going to translate into something on the road in Game 5 here, Shaq?
You know, it's all about the confidence and how you play. Listen, everybody's confident at home, but, you know, I think if it can travel, they will have a chance. But, you know, Milwaukee's at home now. Their role players have not played well the last 2 games. They're definitely going to be playing well. And, you know, as far as, you know, Kawhi injury go, it's nothing to talk about. He played for the system where they didn't complain. He's not going to complain. He's not talking about it. We shouldn't talk about it.
Well, we keep saying others. And when you play with Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, you're another. When you play with, you know, Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon, you're another. But when it's just Hakeem, like our first year, there is no such thing as another. You're expected to produce, and that's the only way you can win.
Good point.
And you look at Kawhi and you look at Giannis. If those guys don't produce, they lose the game. So there is no other. These guys have to perform at a high level, and they have to figure out a way each night to do something different to contribute.
Meantime, on the Milwaukee side of things, when you look at the 3 guys who led them in the regular season, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe, their numbers down from the first 2 rounds of the series here in the East Finals, Chuck.
And listen, I got to call out my boy Eric Bledsoe. I've been saying all year, he's the most important buck. Because number one, he's the one who pushes the tempo more than anybody else. He's one of the reasons Giannis gets some layups and dunks. Eric Bledsoe's got to play tonight. Eric Bledsoe's from Alabama. He's my homeboy. He's played awful. Tonight, Eric Bledsoe is going. I pick the guy every game. I'm going with Eric Bledsoe tonight. He's the guy I'm saying. And he's got to play well for the Bucks to win. Eric Bledsoe's the guy.
There's certainly been talk on the day off in between games 4 and 5 about potentially Mike Budenholzer changing his starting lineup and putting Malcolm Brogdon back in the starting lineup. He played 64 games this year. He started every one of those, has come off the bench since coming back from injury in the postseason. Would you put Malcolm Brogdon in your starting lineup if you're coaching the Bucks?
I would probably think about it, but I would definitely have him finishing games. I thought at times they had taken him out, even in the double overtime game, they took him out just for the continuity stake. He is the guy who is, you know, as you said, Eric Bledsoe is important, and I agree with that, Chuck. But I think the most stabilizing force in that backcourt, and scoring-wise and defensive-wise, he's stable. I know every night I could get 16 points from this guy. I don't have to get 25, and I might not get 8. I'm going to get 16 every night. So he has to be in at the end of games to make sure that there's continuity.
I would start him because he's a very smart player. You know, plays the right way, always makes the right call. And I just like how he plays. So if you definitely need a lineup change, he definitely is the guy to go with. But I also agree with you, definitely also needs the end game because he's always going to make that smart play.
And I will add, Shaq, we didn't say anything about his suit. This dude is cleaner than the Sunday school teacher on Easter Sunday with Obama in the building. You are like clean today.
I kind of like the Georgia Bulldog flavor to that red and black. That's not bad either. The Twitter machine up and running here in Milwaukee. Milwaukee looks crazy now, says Sam Becker. And you,
Sam, it is
crazy.
People, as far as you can see here in the Deep District, getting ready for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Hey, we'll come back and talk about Drake right after this.
Sure, the Warriors might be the most talented roster ever assembled. However, don't accuse this group of not having to deal with adversity. Look at all of the missed time during the postseason from all of these guys. Now, obviously, in the absence of Cousins and Durant, guys like Steph have certainly stepped up. Here's the injury from Kevin Durant. He's dealing with that calf strain that he injured in the Rockets series. The Warriors said today that Kevin Durant unlikely to play in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. However, the team hopeful that KD will play at some point during the NBA Finals. The Dubs have won the 5 games Durant has missed. Steve Kerr provided more of an update Thursday afternoon.
Kevin hasn't progressed the on-court stuff, but has shown good progress. Where has he progressed, even though he's not on the court?
In the training room, his response to treatment, his ability to do some things in the weight room. But again, he hasn't spent any time on the court with us, hasn't gone through an individual shooting workout or anything like that. So still still some work ahead.
I feel good. A lot better than I was. I'm in a better place. I'm able to get up and down the court more. I'm able to play a little competition basketball. So I'm in a lot better place. We don't really have a game set right now. Like I said, we're going to take it a day at a time, see where my body takes me, and we'll see what happens.
Wow, how scary would that be for either Milwaukee or Toronto if DeMarcus Cousins comes back? Add all that into the fact that the Warriors are just sitting at home. They've had a couple of days literally completely off before returning on Thursday to the court. Look at this. It'll be the second time that the Warriors have had 9 days off between the end of the conference finals and into the NBA finals. The last was back in 2017 when they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. The most ever time off was 11 games. The Lakers had 11 heading into the 1982 finals against Philadelphia. So Isaiah Thomas, Grant Hill, Jared Greenberg. What do you take, Isaiah, from hearing the update on Cousins, who has gotten on the court, but we don't know, but he's optimistic, and Kevin Durant's optimistic as well that he'll get involved in the series. We just have no idea when.
As a basketball fan and also someone who's rooting for Cousins, I'm happy that he's going to have a chance to participate and play in the finals. You didn't want to see him go down like that with the injury that he did, but I'm happy that he's able to come back and be able to perform. When you look at Golden State, what does he do for them? He gives them a adequate third scorer, someone who can really come in when the pressure is on Steph, when the pressure is on Clay, because we saw that they can trap Steph, they can trap Clay, and that consistent third scorer that Cousins can be out on the floor, they will need him in this series, the next series, whether it's Toronto or Milwaukee, if Durant is not playing.
As Jared, I agree with Isaiah. What's interesting, too, Will, is that a lot of teams, you get to this point in the season, and, they've gone through some adversity as a ball club, but they're playing good basketball now. They have a great rhythm. And now you bring at some point Kevin Durant back in the mix, who is the best player on the planet right now, and certainly is someone that would cause you to adjust how you play. And you insert a DeMarcus Cousins, who's a great player in his own right, and he's trying to figure out, and he plays a certain way. You want to adapt and adjust to what he brings to the table. And most teams, you'd say, that's a problem, and that could throw things off a little bit. But this team, because of their experience, because of their character, because they know how to play, I'm not worried at all.
Right? Yeah.
And now it'll be a little bit of an adjustment, but you saw how they adjusted when Durant went down after Game 5. They just kept it smoking.
Was there an adjustment?
Exactly.
If there's one, I didn't see it.
And so I think, you look at those two players, you're like, wow, but then you also realize that's going to alter things when they get back. But I just feel the character, the basketball IQ, the experience, all of that will factor in, and these guys will figure out how to make it work. I'm confident in
Isaiah,
that.
does it matter whether it's the Bucks or Raptors if Durant does or does not play at all in the NBA Finals?
I don't think it matters, but if Durant or Cousins is not able to play, or if Durant is not able to play and Cousins is not able to play at a high level, I do think Toronto or Milwaukee is capable of beating Golden State. Now, having Durant there and having him back makes Golden State unbeatable. But if Durant's not there, then we got real competition. But, when Durant's on that team, they truly are unbeatable.
No, I agree. Look, it gives them a better chance.
Can they win without him, though? Without Durant?
They can. Yeah. They can, but I think it levels the playing field. It makes it interesting,
yeah.
Yes. It gives them a greater chance to be successful, to win convincingly with Durant out there. I know they're playing great basketball, they're sharing and moving, but with all due respect to Portland, Toronto and Milwaukee defend a whole lot different, have great length on the perimeter, and create different problems for this ball club. So they will need, I think, a healthy, or as close to being 100% healthy, a Kevin Durant out there for them.
Let's come back with more on Game Time Live. We'll get you set for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight on TNT. They're about an hour and 15 minutes away from tip. Stick with us as we'll be joined by Chris Webber live from Fiserv Forum coming up in a bit.